Right now at 6, a bill advancing through the Oklahoma House would ban emergency contraception.
And we've got ourselves another spring-like day out there, but it is a bit chilly to start right now. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
Plus, Columbus, Kansas students yesterday came to school in style for National FFA Week.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is a bit on the cold side this morning, but we're still, most of us, a little above average out there, and it's going to be really warm today. We're going to want to take this desk and place it outside.
It's feeling like spring break already.
Yeah, it is going to feel fantastic. Let's take a quick look outside. This is our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. We're looking pretty good so far this morning, and it is again a bit chilly. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line also looking pretty good as a few folks starting to get their day underway. Those temperatures, we have about a 10 to 15 degree spread on temperatures. Some of us about average, upper 20s out there. Then we get some low 30s, and then we even go with some upper 30s in some locations as well. So it's a bit of a spread, but nonetheless a chilly start. However, temperatures are going to warm for all of us as we go through the day. Kids getting on the bus back to school today, mostly clear, 34, south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And as they come back home, mid-60s, partly cloudy with a southwest breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clouds will gradually increase late afternoon into the evening hours, and we'll go mostly cloudy overnight. Highs today, mid-upper 60s out there, so well above average, very spring-like. But with the spring-like weather, it could bring some spring-like thunderstorm chances. We're going to talk about that in the full forecast a little later. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. In today's top story, police arrest a Florida man suspected of election fraud in Kansas. Authorities say 30-year-old George Andrews of Dade City, Florida, forged signatures on a petition to make the organization referred to as No Labels an officially recognized political party in Kansas. Andrews is charged with 2 counts of election perjury and 28 counts of election forgery. He was arrested in Florida on February 10th and is awaiting extradition to Kansas. Oklahoma lawmakers are advancing a bill that would ban emergency contraception and create a database of people who had an abortion. A state House committee last week advanced the bill. If passed, it would require a prescription to access Plan B and other forms of birth control. It would also allow civil lawsuits against anyone who helps a woman get an abortion and create a state database to track who had the procedure. Opponents say the bill could make contraception inaccessible to many women and would violate the privacy of citizens. A Joplin family is currently without a home after a fire heavily damaged theirs yesterday afternoon. It happened just after 2 p.m. yesterday in the 2800 block of South Connecticut Avenue. Officials say everyone made it out safely, but the home is heavily damaged inside. A representative from EPA is in Caney, Kansas this week to talk to residents about soil remediation and testing. The rep will be at the Caney Library on Wednesday and Thursday, answering questions from residents and signing them up to allow the agency to remove and replace contaminated soil on their properties. This is the second round of remediation in Caney. The EPA completed the first round, then changed its threshold for what is safe. Now they are trying to meet the new threshold. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly proclaimed the week of February 17th through the 24th as FFA Week throughout the Sunflower State. Some students at Columbus, Kansas are celebrating FFA Week by bringing their crop cruisers to class.
Well, Monday, February 19th is Drive Your Tractor to School Day, and some students at Columbus High School are showing off their rural roots.
It's just it's really great for the community. You know, we live in like a rural community, so there's a lot of farmers and stuff, and I work for one. And it's just, you got to bring a tractor. Everybody else does it here, and just a lot of my buddies do it. It's fun.
Drive Your Tractor to School Day is the culmination of National Future Farmers of America Week, celebrating the impact of agriculture.
Each year we try to do some activities to help promote agriculture, and on this FFA week.
It's a tradition we've had for a long time here, and just showing support for Columbus FFA.
And they've kept it going. I think we had 9 or 10 tractors this morning.
And while a tractor trip to school might not be the smoothest ride,
it's a lot slower, a lot louder, and a lot wider. I mean, coming down
Just coming down the road here, it was difficult this morning because I was having to swerve away from other cars. And
Most of these high schoolers are more comfortable behind this piece of machinery than a regular car.
I learned how to drive like, I guess, a hydrostat tractor, which is easy, just like a car, but probably a tractor first.
I'd probably learn how to drive a tractor first. I've grown up on a farm. I work on a farm every day after school. It's just something that's come natural.
In Columbus, Kansas, Elise Noe, KOAM News.
There are 49 members in the Columbus, Kansas FFA chapter. To learn more about FFA Week, visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, a D.C. man is suing the Powerball for not honoring his jackpot last year. We'll have the details. Plus, the White House is considering new action in response to the sudden death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Against any other brand of truck. The 2024 GMC truck, SkywayBuickGMC.com.
Topping Nation Watch this morning, want a very up close and personal view of a total solar eclipse? Well, a Delta flight this spring will provide that opportunity. Delta Airlines is offering a special flight from Austin, Texas to Detroit, Michigan on April 8th. Delta Flight 1218 will be specifically operated on an A220-300, an aircraft with extra large windows. The flight is timed for the best chance of safely viewing the solar eclipse at its peak, spending as much time as possible directly within the path of totality. And a D.C. man is suing the Powerball for not honoring his jackpot last year. 60-year-old John Cheeks says that he is owed $340 million after the incorrect winning Powerball numbers were posted on its website. In 2023, Cheeks bought the ticket on January 6th for the January 7th drawing. According to the lawsuit, the 60-year-old alleges by January 10th, the numbers on the website had changed. In a hearing last year, the website agency for the Powerball claimed it accidentally posted Cheeks' winning numbers to the DC Lottery website. However, the company said the mistake wasn't removed until January 9th. The agency claims Cheeks' attempted scheme is a way to capitalize on an obvious error on the DC Lottery website. While President Joe Biden's approval rating hasn't been great lately, there's one poll where he's getting high marks. Historians have ranked Biden the 14th best president in America's history. He's just ahead of Woodrow Wilson, Ronald Reagan, and Ulysses S. Grant. According to the college professors who conducted the survey, Biden's signature accomplishment is keeping former President Trump from serving a second term in 2020. They say Biden returned the White House to a more traditional style of leadership. As for Trump, he was ranked last on the list. This morning, the White House is considering new action in response to the sudden death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny in a penal colony. But President Biden says he's unsure if the Führer will move House Republicans to act on Ukraine aid. U.S. defense officials warn that Ukraine cannot sustain its fight against Russia's invasion without that critical aid. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
This morning, growing international outrage to the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. At the White House, President Biden says he's weighing new sanctions.
We're considering additional sanctions, yes.
President Biden blaming Navalny's death on Russian President Vladimir Putin. He also told reporters he's not sure if Navalny's death will persuade House Republicans to act on a Senate-passed bill that includes billions in aid for Ukraine.
They're making a big mistake not responding.
President Biden even said he's willing to meet with House Speaker Mike Johnson to discuss Ukraine aid. Johnson spent President's Day in Florida meeting with former President Donald Trump, who's openly opposed a bipartisan Senate bill that included funding for Ukraine and border security. Yesterday, Trump broke his silence on Navalny, writing on social media, "The sudden death of Alexei Navalny has made me more and more aware of what's happening in our country." He went on to rail against his own legal issues. Trump's 2024 GOP rival Nikki Haley has ramped up her her attacks on him regarding Russia in recent days.
I don't know why he keeps getting weak in the knees when it comes to Russia. But I'll tell you what, Russia's not getting weak in the knees.
As this week marks 2 years since Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine, the Pentagon warns that Ukraine absolutely needs more aid and that the country is running low on critical supplies, in particular, ammunitions. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Alexei Navalny's widow also blames Russia's president for her husband's death, and she has vowed to continue his fight. She also says Russian authorities have not released Navalny's body to his mother. Russia's UN ambassador claims this is due to an investigation into the 47-year-old's cause of death. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Now here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a very spring-like day again today. Taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, nothing out there but just a few clouds. And we see a few more off to our west. And we'll have clouds increasing as we head into the evening hours out there. Our camera 7th and range line looking pretty good so far. Again, it's a chilly start, but we've got clear skies. And again, that won't last, but the majority of our day at least will be sunny. We'll have those sunny skies heading into the afternoon, and clouds again gradually increasing this evening with highs today into the mid to upper 60s across the area. So very warm. We do have some thunderstorm chances on the way, and we'll talk about that with your full forecast a little later here on the KOAM Morning News.
Through February 29th, Precision Dental in Jay, Oklahoma. Ashley, this is home.
One traffic accident went from bad to worse when a driver fled and took a stolen tow truck on a destructive hour-long chase through crowded rush hour roads. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Watch a stolen tow truck lead police on a wild demolition derby-style chase through rush hour traffic. After 4 vehicles were involved in a crash in Maryland, police say one of the drivers fled the scene, jumping into a responding roadside assistance truck. What followed was a lengthy chase where the stolen tow truck weaved through rush hour traffic, striking power lines and bashing into at least 13 vehicles. Several minor injuries were reported. After an hour, the chase came to an end with the help of a GPS device on board the hijacked truck, which police used to corner it before arresting the suspect and taking him into custody. Another harrowing collision caught on cam, but this one is being used as a cautionary tale on salt truck safety. Dash cam out of snowy Michigan shows what can happen if you don't give the working trucks a wide berth on slushy roads. Thankfully, the white-knuckle truck-on-truck crash didn't result in any injuries, but it did give county officials a reason to share these key safety tips. Drive for conditions, slow down, and give those trucks room to work. Finally, this most unique of winter weather vehicles was used to execute a thin ice rescue in Michigan after a call for help came a mile from shore on this frozen lake. Police used the rescue airboat to reach a man who went through the fractured ice while riding a four-wheeler. Once the victim was safe, rescuers went above and beyond the call, so to speak, returning to the splintered ice to retrieve the driver's cell phone. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Wow, be careful out there, folks. Please drive safe. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves another very spring-like day across the area, and it is going to be warm. Then we have some rain chances on the way as well. We're going to talk about all that in your full forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Stop overpaying for tires. Hero Fund USA to help 4 state first responders purchase safety equipment. Learn more at koamnewsnow.com/herofund.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6:20 on this Tuesday morning, taking a live look at the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line, looking back to the west. We're looking pretty good. We got clear skies, but chilly temperatures as we get our day underway. We are expecting some thunderstorm chances as we head overnight Wednesday into Thursday. So today is going to be great. We're looking at temperatures mid-upper 60s, an absolutely lovely day out there. We'll start to see clouds increase this afternoon, gradually late afternoon into the evening hours, and then we'll start to go mostly cloudy overnight and into our Wednesday. And overnight tonight into our Wednesday, those southwesterly winds pick up, gusting 20 to 25 miles an hour. That doesn't stop us, though, from being even warmer tomorrow. We're looking at a lot more low 70s for highs as we head into our Wednesday. Then we technically are talking Thursday morning. but depending on your sleep schedule, it's Wednesday night. It's going to be after midnight on Wednesday into Thursday morning that we're going to see this opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. Now, these are going to be widely scattered, but there will be the opportunity for some strong, potentially low-grade severe thunderstorms as we go very early Thursday morning. So after midnight, but before 4 a.m., because as you can see, it rolls out of here very quickly, and by 5, we are clear with the exception of a few lingering showers in our southern counties, but there's a surface low that's going to develop and help aid the thunderstorm development. So once it passes through along with that, our winds will shift out of the north on Thursday, and while we'll still be above average, we're going to be a little cooler for our Thursday than where we are today and where we'll be tomorrow. So because of that, we do have a low end risk for strong to marginally severe thunderstorms as we go into Wednesday. And this is where it gets a little confusing. We've talked about this. I'll touch on it briefly. The way the Storm Prediction Center works is the day of outlooks go 2 hours about into the next day. So this is really for after midnight going into very early Thursday morning, even though it's going to show up on the Wednesday outlook. It's technically for early Thursday morning. And then for mid-Thursday morning, a stray thunderstorm or two lingering. But I think that's just going to be what's clearing out from overnight. So the biggest concern with any thunderstorms on Thursday morning is going to be some small hail. But of course, we'll keep an eye on it for you as we get closer. But so far, that's remained unchanged since yesterday. 36 in Joplin right now. Southeast breeze at 3. Clear skies, looking pretty good out there. Temperatures around the region, not bad either. Again, it's chilly. Some of us a little closer to average as we've got some mid-upper 20s, but we've got a 10, 12 degree spread of temperatures. So some of us into the upper 30s, but those temperatures are beginning to fall back just a wee bit, but all of us getting in on warmer weather later today. Sunny skies to start, 55 by 11 o'clock this morning. And as we head into the afternoon, again, clouds gradually increase. It won't be a rush of clouds in here. We'll see a few here and there, and we're going to go again mid-upper 60s. Tonight, mild upper 40s to right around 50 degrees, mostly cloudy, and overnight tonight is when those winds will begin to pick up across the area. Then we go into our Wednesday, and again, breezy, mostly cloudy, but low 70s, upper 60s out there, so a pretty good day. Then we'll have those thunderstorm chances early Thursday morning, and we'll see some gradual clearing as we go through Thursday. And again, we're a little cooler, low 60s. Heading into the weekend, though, absolutely beautiful. We're talking mid-upper 60s to right around 70 by Sunday, an absolutely beautiful day. 70s hold on through Tuesday. Could see some pop-up storms on our Monday, and then we'll go about 70 degrees on Tuesday. And then with those rain chances, it does make us a little cooler by midweek. Temperatures falling back upper 40s, low 50s, so right about average, but it's going to feel, again, downright cold because we are going to be spoiled with some very nice temperatures leading up to that. That's a check of your forecast. Now we're going to send it over to Caitlin with Health Watch.
A large new study finds a link between taking prescribed opioids and an increased risk of serious falls. Researchers in Australia found a heightened risk among adults of all ages, but people 85 and older were at greater risk. Eating too much protein could be bad for your arteries. That's according to a new study from the University of Pittsburgh. Researchers found that getting more than 22% of calories from protein can lead to increased activation of immune cells that play a role in plaque formation. It's estimated about a quarter of the population receives more than 22% of all daily calories from protein. And women may benefit more from exercising than men. A new study supported by the National Institute of Health found that women who worked out regularly lowered their risk of premature death by 24%, while men who did the same had a 15% lower risk. The difference was even greater when it came to fatal heart attacks. The study authors suggest variations in anatomy and physiology may account for the differences. February is a popular hiking season for locals and visitors in Phoenix, Arizona, which means it is also a big rescue season for the local emergency responders. Irene Snyder has more on some hiking tips before you take to the trails.
Cool mornings and warm afternoons. The perfect hiking weather in the Valley of the Sun. The winter months make for some of the most crowded months here at Payasawa Peak. and the busiest time of year for mountain rescues.
We see an exponential peak in the amount of mountain rescues that we do because we have so many people on the trails.
Captain with the Phoenix Fire Department, Rob McDade, says last year February had the most amount of mountain rescues. Many times those affected were from out of town and unaware of just how difficult these mountains can be.
People that are not familiar with hiking with these mountains, right? I think a lot of the lure of people wanting to come visit Phoenix, we've got the golf tournament, we've got the car show. It's a wonderful place to visit, and this is one of the attractions.
That amount of rescue calls also poses challenges for first responders.
Fortunately, we get folks, when these rescues come in, they're at 3/4, they're at the top, they're trying to make their way down, so that makes it technical for us. So now we have to think about bringing in the helicopter. If we have somebody just a quarter of the way up, 500 yards up, we get our big wheel, we can efficiently and effectively get to them very quickly.
If you want to avoid needing rescue, McDade has some advice for hikers. For starters, wear proper shoes. Don't drink too much alcohol the night before. Instead, drink plenty of water. And know your limits.
Let's get halfway there and say, you know what, I don't think I can make it to the top. Turn around, head back down, and still consider it a successful day on the mountain.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back.
Today, we seize the day because a U.S.
Connected Culture's Out of This World lineup this March at the Cornell Complex. Learn more at connectedculture.org.
Right now at 6:30, the Chanute Public Library yesterday hosted a unique book club event.
And we've got ourselves a chilly but beautiful start to the day out there. We are going to be warm and we're going to be mostly sunny for the first half of our Tuesday. Take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, KOAM hosts another flag swap to help 4 staters replace their American flags.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6:30 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's a bit of a chilly start for us out there, but it's not too bad. It's about seasonable, and then it's going to be really unseasonable as we head into the afternoon. In a good way.
Good.
In
I'm
a
excited.
good way. Beautiful day for us. Let's take a look outside. It's our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Got just a couple of clouds out there. Otherwise, clear skies. Looking fantastic. Beautiful start to the day. Again, albeit a chilly one. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. Looking back to the west. Also looking fairly good this morning as we get our day underway. Temperatures, we did have a pretty good spread earlier because we had a number of upper 30s the further east you went. Now we're starting to see a few more just mid 30s, and we're starting to see some more upper 20s out to the west, but we still have some low to mid 20s out there. So it's cold as we get the day started, but it's otherwise not too bad. Kids getting on the bus this morning. It's going to be about 34, maybe a cloud or two. South breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And we'll see a few more clouds by this afternoon. Partly cloudy, 65 when the bus brings them home, with a southwest breeze right around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clouds will very gradually increase, so we're going to spend most of our day mostly clear, maybe a stray cloud here or there, and then by late afternoon into the evening hours, we'll see those clouds gradually increase across the area. And our temperatures today, we're talking mid upper 60s out there, so well above normal for this time of year. Not that we're complaining, but it is a very March-like day for us. But spring-like weather, spring-like temperatures can bring spring-like thunderstorms, and we do have some thunderstorm chances as we head later into this week. And we're going to talk about all that in the full forecast a little later. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Drury University in Springfield is joining the Southwest Baptist University and Mercy Partnership to offer more students a path to a nursing career. The program lets students receive non-clinical education at Drury. SBU will provide clinical instruction, and Mercy will provide clinical opportunities. The partnership hopes to address nursing shortages in Missouri and nationwide.
Mercy, is a nationwide healthcare organization, and so this opens up those opportunities for our students from Southwest Missouri to move into healthcare professions all over the country. And so the sort of notion that Drury and SBU and Mercy pairing together on this program is really exciting to all three of us.
Drury students can now begin registration for the nursing program's 2024 fall semester. The Chanute Public Library yesterday hosted a unique book club event. Normally everyone would read the same book and then discuss it, but this was a silent book club. People were encouraged to bring whatever book they wanted and read it by themselves, surrounded by other bookworms. Officials say it's a peaceful way to read while still socializing a bit.
Is when we do traditional book clubs, a lot of people say that they're really nervous because they're just nervous about talking in front of other people and talking about the books to other people. And so this gives people who might have that anxiety or that hesitance of joining a book club a way for them to come out and still enjoy reading and connect with people and create a community together.
The library plans to host a silent book club on the third Monday of every month. KOAM's Great American Flag Swap is back, and yesterday we held our first flag swap event of the year at the Roper Honda dealership in Joplin. Like always, folks were able to bring their old tattered flags and get them exchanged for a new one. We then take the old ones and have them properly disposed of.
It actually helps rejuvenate patriotism in our nation. Too oftentimes I think we take the flag for granted and what it represents. And I feel this was one great way to just reignite that patriotism.
The next flag swap will be on May 21st at Jake's Fireworks in Pittsburgh. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Capital One is acquiring Discover Financial Services in a deal that would create the country's 6th largest bank. Plus, we have another warm and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Casino's Hot Seat Cash giveaways are paying cash every single day. Join us Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Premium vinyl siding and more. So if you have a home in need, give us a call today for your free in-home estimate.
In Consumer Watch this morning, this March marks 6 months since a devastating earthquake in Morocco. The country has largely moved on from the disaster, but tourism is also being impacted by the Israel-Hamas war. In today's Travel Tuesday, CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette journeyed to Morocco to see the recovery.
Traffic buzzes about in the shadow of the 12th century Kotabia Mosque in Marrakesh. The top of the landmark is now under repair after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck the Atlas Mountains about 45 miles away last September. In the Medina, the old city, a few dozen damaged structures are in stages of rebuilding, but the mazes of streets and food and spice shops are intact and operating as usual.
Things came back to normal very quickly, actually. In Marrakesh, there were some damages, but very minor.
The Mandarin Oriental only had some small repairs and cleanup. Americans usually account for about a third of the hotel's guests. The property spans 50 acres with just 63 suites and villas, surrounded by more than 100,000 roses.
There is just a sensation of space throughout the resort that is rare to find being so close to the city.
3 hours southwest of Marrakesh, here at Fairmont Tagazout Bay, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, there was a spike in guests right after the earthquake, and the hotel has remained busy in high season, which continues through March. The hotel offers ocean view villas with private pools, a Morimoto restaurant, traditional hammams in the spa, and large pools near a surfing mecca.
This is a place where I tell people you come here to find yourself a little bit, to rejuvenate, to have some peaceful time.
That can mean fire pits and horse and camel rides on the beach. We're on a camel ride at sunset. Camels also dot the landscape at Caravan Agafay, 40 minutes from Marrakesh, one of the properties we stayed at for a special raid. It offers glamping in the desert with cultural traditions, like a Moroccan tea ceremony. An estimated 15% of residents are employed in tourism, so the country is hoping 2024 will keep delivering high numbers. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Morocco has set a goal of doubling tourists by 2030 when it co-hosts the FIFA World Cup. And Capital One is acquiring Discover Financial Services in a deal that would create the country's 6th largest bank. The $35 billion all-stock deal would give Capital One shareholders 60% of the merged company, while Discover shareholders would get the other 40%. Once finalized, the acquisition is expected to face tough antitrust scrutiny from federal officials. And everything was all right for the Bob Marley One Love biopic over the long weekend. The Paramount Pictures film topped the domestic box office, pulling in more than $27 million, while Sony's Madame Web had a disappointing debut, earning just over $15 million, one of the lowest ever openings for a film based on a Marvel character. Universal's spy film Argylle was third, ranking in more than $4 million domestically. Paramount Pictures is owned by CBS parent company. And Hostess is combining two of its iconic snacks into one. The new Honey Bun Donuts adds the warm cinnamon and vanilla glaze from Hostess Honey Buns onto the soft Hostess Donuts Mini Donuts. The new breakfast treat will hit shelves in early March. And does the winter weather have you dreaming of getting away? Now is a great time to book a cruise and score some big deals. Jen Sullivan explains why.
It's time to start cruising for a deal. Major cruise companies are offering big discounts right now. It's known as wave season.
Wave season is the time of year when the entire cruise industry goes on sale.
Wave season starts in January and runs through the beginning of March. You don't need to travel right now to score the deals. Travel expert Emily Kaufman says you can book a cruise all the way through 2025. You just need to book the trip now. So, what kind of deals are we seeing?
They've got added value offers with things like 2-for-1 sailing, cabin category upgrades, credits to be used on board.
From river cruises to luxury ships, anywhere around the world, this is the time to score discounts. Right now, Norwegian Cruise Lines is offering a 2-for-1 deal. That's on many of their cruises, even the European destinations. They're also offering a savings of $1,000 for free third or fourth guests on select dates. Royal Caribbean Cruises boast up to $700 off, plus 60% off a second guest, and kids sail for free. MSC is offering 40% off and up to $400 onboard credit, but that deal only lasts until February 20th. Kaufman says cruises are a great way for families to save.
For one price, you get your accommodations, your meals, your activities on board.
If you are booking for a future trip, keep in mind that prices will be even cheaper if you book during an off-season time. And of course, you do have to factor in flights if you have to fly to the port city where the cruise departs from. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And that's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, let's take a quick look outside. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. A couple of stray clouds. Otherwise, not a bad start to the day, although it is a bit on the chilly side. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line, looking back to the west, also looking pretty good as folks get their day underway. In terms of those temperatures, again, like I said, they're chilly. We've got mid-upper 20s and some low 20s here and there, and we're reaching all the way to the mid-30s, so still about a 10-degree spread in temperatures across the area. Kids getting on the bus this morning looking pretty good as well, but chilly. 34, mostly clear. South breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As that bus brings them home, we're talking 65, partly cloudy, and a southwest breeze around 5 to 10. Clouds will gradually begin to increase late afternoon into the evening hours, and there may be a stray cloud or two here or there through the afternoon, but otherwise a absolutely wonderful day with temperatures going into the mid to upper 60s. As mentioned, we do have some thunderstorm chances on the way. We're going to take a look at that full forecast right after this. It's also just about time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Those are coming up after the break. But first, we're going to see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
Hello to you. I'm Gail King coming right up on CBS Mornings. Guess what? 11-year-old, there he is. Jeremiah Fennell is here in the house. He's been stealing the show at recent sporting events. The budding journalist joins us to talk about interviewing some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. He's always cool as a cucumber. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Hey, it's Tommy with Hair Tom Today. Exclusions apply. Offer ends March 16, 2024.
All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays here in the 4 states. We're going to start with Remington, Patoka, celebrating birthday number 1. Says happy birthday, Remy Rems, Mommy, and Lele loves you, Princess.
And happy 4th birthday to Celeste Miller over in Fort Scott, Kansas. Love all your family.
Also in Fort Scott, celebrating birthday number 4 is Tony Baglin with birthday love coming from Mimi, Papa, Mommy, and Daddy.
And over in Webb City, Missouri, happy 6th birthday to Leighton Bickett.
And in Chanute, Brennan Smith celebrating birthday number 8. Happy birthday, Brennan.
Happy 11th birthday to Tatum Johnston over in Oswego, Kansas.
And in Pittsburgh, Olivia Crowder celebrating Crownover celebrating birthday number 14. Says happy birthday from Grandma Vance and all your family from Chanute. We love you.
Happy 17th birthday to Owen Roberts over in Columbus, Kansas.
And in Frontenac, Lane Sullivan celebrating birthday number 19. Happy birthday, Lane.
And happy 47th birthday to Christy Rowe.
And Amy Bartley celebrating birthday number 51 with love from her partner Robin, her mama Lisa, and her buddy Pat.
Happy 61st birthday to Tony Sheehy. Happy birthday, Tony. We love you from your family.
And in Columbus, Corky Zom celebrating birthday number 82 says happy birthday from your church family.
Also in Columbus, Kansas, happy birthday to Ross King.
And Ronnie and Janice Meador celebrating their 60th year of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary.
And over in Nevada, happy birthday to Eve Normand.
We've also got Jill Ulepich celebrating birthday number 40 in Pittsburgh. Says happy birthday with love from your family and friends. Those are the types of birthday and anniversary lists that we love. And of course, if you would love to celebrate with us, Caitlin knows exactly how you do that.
All you gotta do is submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com and be sure to include pictures and any messages.
All right, and of course, make sure you meet that deadline printed at the bottom of the screen. That way you can make sure that your birthday or anniversary makes it on the air on the right day of the week. Let's take a quick look outside, shall we? This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. Again, just a few stray clouds out there. Otherwise, a beautiful start to the day. Nice sunrise, but it is a bit on the chilly side. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good as well. Of course, it's looking back to the west, but we'll start to see those colors change here before too much longer as well. We've been talking about thunderstorm chances, and we're going to get to those right now in the future track. For today, though, we're looking pretty good. A few clouds here and there throughout the day, temperatures mid-upper 60s, and then we'll see clouds gradually increasing by late afternoon into the evening and overnight hours, and we'll go mostly cloudy overnight, and we'll see some winds out of the southwest gusting around 20 miles an hour. And on our Wednesday, those gusty winds may pick up to 25. We're going to be mostly cloudy, but that doesn't stop us from being even warmer tomorrow than we are today as we go into the low 70s for a number of us out there. And then we get into the thunderstorm chances as we head into very early Thursday morning. So for some of you, it's still technically Wednesday night. But in terms of the actual clock and the time on it and the day, it's going to be after midnight Thursday. Right about midnight, we'll see some showers and thunderstorms developing out west, and they'll begin to roll in. And here they are about 1 a.m. These are going to be scattered, but there's going to be the opportunity for these storms to be strong, potentially low-grade severe. Now, the good news is not much has changed in the expectation with these storms as we head into early Thursday morning. Small hail still seems to be the primary concern with any of the storms that do pick up a little intensity. The thing is, they'll also be gone pretty quick. So we move this ahead to 5 a.m. and that batch of storms is out of here, leaving just a few showers behind. However, they're going to be part of a surface low that's going to develop tomorrow out to our west, and you can see kind of the swirl where that low is, and as it tracks south and pushes those storms with it, it's going to end up shifting our winds out of the north. So for our Thursday, we're still above average, but we're going to be a little cooler than where we have been or where we will be today and where we will be tomorrow. So as we go into Thursday early morning, now I know it's a little confusing because this is Thursday and this is accurate. This is Thursday, this is tomorrow, this is Wednesday. But as we've discussed, the way the Storm Prediction Center works, day one runs until I think it is about 2 o'clock in the morning on the next day. And that's where our risk for strong, potentially low-grade severe thunderstorms is after midnight, but by about 2 a.m. So we still have just that low risk. It has been expanded a bit, but as you can see, it also just about lines up perfectly with where the future track was showing those thunderstorm development chances. And again, the primary concern here is going to be some small hail, not even large hail at this point. All right, our camera, 7th and range line. I always like showing you that beautiful sunrise out there. You can see the colors and the few clouds that we have. It is 36 in Joplin, southeast breeze at 3. We've still got about a 10-degree spread or so on temperatures. We've got mid-upper 20 20s, and as you head a little further east, we get into the mid-30s, so about a 10-degree range on these temperatures. But regardless, it's still a bit on the cold side out there for sure. As we get our day started, again, it's going to be chilly initially. We're going to have those sunny skies and be about 55 by 11 o'clock this morning, so much warmer as we head through the morning. We're going to be fairly decent today. We've got a pretty decent Wednesday as well. We're going to take another look at your forecast plus the 7-day here in just a moment. We also have the news you need to know right after this. And when we make the switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to hear how a California organization's focus is to help others get back on their feet.
From the moment you call until
We are proud to salute Gene Day, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Oklahoma lawmakers are advancing a bill that will ban emergency contraception and create a database of people who have had an abortion. If passed, it would require a prescription to access Plan B and other forms of birth control. It also would allow civil lawsuits against anyone who helps a woman get an abortion. Opponents say the bill could make contraception inaccessible to many women and would violate the privacy of citizens. And police arrest a Florida man suspected of election fraud in Kansas. Authorities say 30-year-old George Andrews of Dade City, Florida, forged signatures on a petition to make the organization referred to as No Labels an officially recognized political party in Kansas. Andrews is charged with 2 counts of election perjury and 28 counts of election forgery. He was arrested in Florida on February 10th and is awaiting extradition to Kansas. KOAM's Great American Flag Swap is back. Yesterday we held our first flag swap event of the year at the Roper Honda dealership in Joplin. Like always, folks were able to bring their old tattered flags and get them exchanged for a new one. We then take the old ones and have them properly disposed of. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we've got ourselves a beautiful March-like day out there, mid-upper 60s, mostly clear skies for most of the day, then gradually increasing clouds late afternoon into the evening and overnight hours, falling back to about 50 out there with those winds gusting around 20 miles an hour. Still breezy tomorrow and warmer, upper 60s, low 70s. Morning thunderstorms Thursday. A reminder, some of those could be strong, low-grade severes. We'll keep an eye on that for you. And then we will warm back up. Beautiful weekend ahead. The first beautiful weekend we've had in a while, because it always gets cold on the weekend here the last few weekends. And then some more shower and thunderstorm chances Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, cooling us back off by the middle of next week.
All right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making loaded BBQ baked potato casserole in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. You're Beautiful is one of those songs. Once you hear it, you can't get it out of your head. Coming up on CBS Mornings, catch up with James Blunt, who released it 20, wow, that's the way to make us feel old.
20 years ago? That hurts.
Okay, that does.
That's rude.
That's disrespectful. Or you can switch over with us on Fox 14.
Yeah, that's right, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, a white bison being born in the wild are 1 in 10 million, and we'll get to see one.
Plus, Charlene Patton joined us in the studio with another amazing recipe, and we will not be disrespectful over on Fox 14 at 7 a.m. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 5.
And we'll see you today at noon.